dimension. And now the spiritual dimension need not be entirely Buddhist. It could be Islamic, it could be Catholic, Protestant, or even unbeliever. Provided spiritual in the sense that you must go beyond the Cartesian concept, go beyond the Newtonian concept. And that's why I very much support Rodney's happiness. We work with them, and now we have now put in more concrete. We have the school of well-being. Because well-being is essential for all human beings. So I think we must go, whatever we do, spiritual dimension must be there.
Sorry, I'm just asking this question for the benefit of all, because I think that not all would know what the Cartesian concept and the Newtonian concept is like. So maybe you can give a brief, explanation what it is about.
Brief explanation about what?
Cartesian and Newtonian. The Cartesian concept they talk about and Newtonian.
Yeah. Well, René Descartes is known to be the first modern political philosopher in the West. And he said, each individual must develop your thought. The more thoughtful, the more clever you are, the better you are, better than other people. That's how we follow Western education. We only develop our thought. This thought in the Western concept to become more arrogant. The more you clever, you get more money, more advancement. And on top of that, both Newtonian and Cartesian concept entirely have to be proved by logic, by arithmetic, which means that you cannot define goodness. You cannot define something qualitative. In those days, when Descartes was alive, Newton was alive, they still believe in God, believe in the church, but now they believe in God. But now, how do we live in goodness? That's why a lot of people who become Buddhist, because in the sense that in the Buddhist context of goodness, you don't have to believe, you don't even have to believe in the Buddha. But once you have proper meditation, you realize that if you harm others, you also harm yourself. If you learn to respect others, you respect yourself. And the Dharma even propose that the more you care for other happiness, you will be happy. If the more you care only for your happiness, not only others suffer, you also to suffer. So in this sense, the Buddhist concept is more practical. You don't have to believe. You see, that's I see that how we challenge the Cartesian concept. If you want to understand more, you can always buy my books.
Okay, any more questions? Any more questions from the floor? Come on. Brother Zest, you normally do a lot of questions.
My mind just rests from the event. Now still not working yet. Now still not working yet. I think, Sister Shermaine, you seems like having something.
No, it's okay. It's been answered.
Okay, any more questions from the floor?
Any more questions on the floor? Nothing? We are satisfied with all the answers from Ajahn. Do you have anyone? Alternative education?
Yeah, more. Ajahn, a little bit more on economics and business. Your thoughts on, I think the challenge is we are very entrenched and very familiar with the capitalistic concept as of today. Now, how do we move to another alternative? How do we move from here, the current capitalist system, to another alternative? Do we use existing structures within the current system, or do we look at developing new systems based on Dharmic principles? Right. So where do we go and how do we get there?
the new economic foundation in London use the Buddhist concept of Buddhist economy, and they become much more viable because they are top economists, English, but they disagree with the London School of Economics, and they want to have more Buddhist economics, and they are collaborating with the Schumacher College, and hopefully they want to put this into mainstream economic faculty in place. I think we have to do that, put in, because the mainstream economic is promoting greed. Buddhist economic is how to curb greed, put on needs rather than greed, and if you can do it wisely. At the same time, the Christians are now imitating us, and we're doing that now. John Cox, perhaps the top American theologian, and he worked with Dali, who used to advise the World Bank, a book called A Common Good from the Christian point of view. I think we need that, challenging mainstream, and then now more, not only economics, even politics. You have people like Ben Page. Ben Page, when he did his PhD at Princeton, he wrote the book which became bestseller. He interviewed Truman, he interviewed MacArthur, and he believed that American went into Korean War to protect democracy and all the propaganda. Now he became Buddhist. And he now wrote a book on political science without killing. And the mainstream university never published it. But luckily now you can have it on their website and so on. And now it's translated to Thai, Tagalog, and everywhere. So I think you have to challenge mainstream, not only economic, politics, even social science. That's why we elected today our friend, what's his name, to be on our board.
Yeah.
David Lloyd. They challenge the whole social science of the West, because he said social science of the West is comes from dukkha. Because the West believes so much on the ego. And the ego is never satisfied. That's why they go out, destroy the world and so on. And he said, you have to look on the Buddhist point of view. How to curb dukkha, to transform dukkha. You see, go back to Four Noble Truth. So I think tremendous, I think we are moving ahead. But when we are moving slowly, we will not realize it. See, when I gave a talk in Japan, I said, we heard so much bad thing, many crises. She said, like when trees fall, make a lot of noises. But when trees growing, they don't noise. Now a lot of trees are growing. So we must look out for those trees, nurture them, link to them. And I'm very hopeful in the sense that because human beings, after all, could not be stupid all the time. I think one of these, and we all have Buddha nature. I think we should be enlightened sooner or later.
Thank you, Ajahn. I think the other questions pertaining to this is that, I'd like to have your opinion on this. Do you think there's a gap between current practice in the economic process today, Buddhist values and ideas that are in the academic space, right? That is not bridged yet. Do you agree that there's a gap? If you think there is a gap, how do we bring that gap together? Because I think yes, the concept of alternative economics driven by economic values need to be applied to maybe, for example, companies like this, to the person who's running it, not just the philosophy.
The good thing, even mainstream universities realize now that they're too much intellectual, and they want something more concrete in the authentic way. For instance, University of Pennsylvania, one of the biggest mainstream, and they sent a young Brazilian to come to Cross Happiness. And he's now writing. And they would accept him into the curriculum of Cross Happiness at the University of Pennsylvania. They're looking, even in my country, country, our university, imitate the West and we're 30 years behind the West. We don't supposed to be the top university. Now they ask us with education movement to help them. Because the top professor, they fight each other like cats and dogs. So we got to help them how to be compassionate, how to have more, reasonable. It's changing. You have to be patient. And then they realize too that they are in the wrong. And they also want to be good human beings. The other thing, beyond academic, it is business people. I have been involved with the top business people in my country. We have now found social venture network 15 years now. Because business people that feel they are the best people, they make money. But now they realize that they make a lot of money, but they're not happy. And then they realize that they use advertisement telling lies. And they realize that they exploit the labor. They also realize that they destroy the environment. And this social venture network, they must first of all care for themselves. They must have time for meditation. They must have time for their family, for their colleague. And then again, they use their others to help with meditation and honor the labor union. Some of the companies, some of them contribute money for my biography. They even have the labor union to be sitting on the board of the company. And they refuse to use line advertisement. And they show people to see environment. Things are changing. And look, it's still not at the center, at the very many good signs around. I think if you look for that, I think one is hopeful. And even Burma, first time, so many Burmese are coming here, But Burma is very interesting, it's open. On the one hand, it's better, but on the other hand, it's very challenging because the big companies are going in big way. The Americans are going in big way. The Americans may be doing well, but they also want the Burmese to be American. But those people who come here, they realize that they want to be themselves. You see? So in the world, you always, go back to the Mahayana concept, you must do upaya, skillful means, in order to achieve prajna, to take wisdom. I think one has to practice that all the time. Okay, last question, and go to sleep now.
Okay.
With good tea and don't buy anymore, just go to sleep.
You want to ask the last question? Please, from there. Yes.
Thank you again. It's not about democratic societies. Sometimes I wonder which is greed and which is good desire. So,
What is your
greed or good desire? Like if you want to diffuse Buddhism, I think it's kind of good desire. But if it's too much, it's going to be greed. So how do you draw a line between them? It's really really complicated and it confuses me sometimes.
You have to use skillful means. Desire in the Sanskrit and Pali is called tanha. Also called upadha, grasping. It's very negative. But the word tanha, you can also synonymous called chanta, liking, clinging. And usually, most of us are clinging to sensual kama tanha. We like convenient, sensual, whatever. The idea is to transform that kama tanha into dhamma tanha, kama chanta into dhamma chanta. It's skillful meaning can change it. That's why meditation is very helpful. Because if you use only your head, you become clever. But if you synchronize breathing with thinking, we become holistic. and we learn how to be humble. Humility, that's really your humility with compassion is the strongest. It's like water, look very fluid. But water to be much stronger than anything else. But stronger than water is our breathing. Breathing is, you can't even touch it. But breathing is even stronger than water. How we need to that. I think nowadays we have to come back to use breathing properly. You can also use it wrongly. That's why I attack the Dhamma in my country. They use breathing in order to promote greed. To be very dangerous. And quite a number of Buddhist schools also promoting greed. And as Dr. Yu said, many of the Chinese monks become very rich. They promote greed. You can be careful. Use skillfully, appropriately in order to achieve prajna.
Thank you, Ajahn, for sharing with us tonight his view on democracy, economics, environment, and education. I hope every one of you have got a good piece of advice from him on whatever you are interested in. For me, I didn't have a good advice. If I need to go on the street next time, opposite form maybe. Okay, if there's nothing else, I think we call it a day. Good night, everybody. Thank you, Ajahn.